Hey there, internet friends, Trevor Starkey here with another episode of AC Discovery, my weekly anime and comics show where I sit down and talk about anime and or comics. And for this week, I've continued my run-through of Death Note, but instead of 2 episodes to talk about this week, I have 3 because I got so excited and just kept watching. So we start off with the episode Friend, which, when we left off, basically Misa had introduced herself as the second Kira to Light, and he was trying to figure out how to really process that information. He kind of saw her as a little too reckless, and so he kind of started planning, okay, well, I can use her to kill L for me, because she has these Shinigami eyes, so I can get his name and kill him, and then I can off this girl because she's too dangerous of a loose thread to keep around. But in Friend, we have Rem basically maybe sensing kind of what he's got planned, and she basically says, I care about this girl, and I can see her timeline, so if she dies before she's supposed to die, I'm going to blame you, Light, and I'm going to kill you. I'm going to use my Death Note to kill you. And so that kind of makes him recalibrate and rethink how he's going to approach this whole situation. Meanwhile, on the investigation side of things, we have L saying to Light that he considers him a friend, and he hopes he isn't Kira because that would be awkward. And I think that really plays well and shows us kind of, we kind of expect L is this very socially awkward person who probably never has had a friend before. And so when we kind of get to see a bit of that interplay, it just naturally makes sense. And Light, who's choosing to be kind of overly cautious and not introduce Misa into the equation because he figures, probably aptly so, that L would immediately deduce her as the second Kira, confirming his suspicions that Light is the first Kira. Light deduces that if something were to happen to L so quickly, that the blowback would all kind of hit L in that manner. But Light convinces Misa to have Rem kill L instead, and to make her happy, which would then in turn make Light happy, and you have kind of that as the wager, and that ends us with the idea that Light standing there saying L's going to die this easily, and it almost made me think, okay, well, so if he's amazed by how easily L's going to die, he's probably going to stand in his own way, and use his own ego and hubris to kind of say, no, he's not going to die that easy. It has to be by my hand. I have to do it. But the show doesn't go that way. Instead, in Wager, we continue kind of the scene in Light's room, and Misa basically says, okay, well, Rem's going to kill L for you, so that's cool. Everything will be good. And then, we can keep being boyfriend and girlfriend, and you can love me. And Light says, no, I still can't. In fact, I'm going to see other people because I need to make sure that we throw them off the scent. And Misa is not happy about that, and it was hilarious. And the fact that Light literally kisses her to shut her up, and she doesn't take it that way, of course. She takes it as like a passionate embrace, and is then swooning over him for the rest of the episode. But we get kind of that interplay between the two of them, and then we get Light going out and L being out in public openly to kind of challenge his theories about Light and Kira and second Kira. And in that we get Misa coming up and finding Light in public here because she was at a photo shoot nearby or whatever, and she meets L and maybe notices that this is L that they're talking to, because when he gets introduced, she recognizes that the name is not the name given. But really, before anything can happen, you have kind of the swarm of people fawning over Misa and her celebrity status, and kind of that causes a nice little diversion where L can basically steal her phone, and that plays into when Light's like, well, she knows his name now, I can kill him now, I don't have to go along with this anymore, and tries to call her, and then L picks up the phone and plays it off as though, oh, it must have been dropped and stuff. And it was a great, tense moment. And meanwhile, while all of this is happening, L has triggered and insisted the people pick up Misa as second Kira, because they found evidence basically linking her to the second Kira tapes, hair particles and crumbs and stuff like that. And it ties back to a lovely moment earlier in the episode where El's just kind of like looking at hair stuff and breadcrumbs and stuff, but we don't know why. And so we find out, oh, it was because that was hers and it was stuff they found on the envelopes or whatever. So it's a great kind of back and forth here, and they lock Misa up. And so with Misa in custody, she kind of doesn't break, she doesn't give away Light, but she ultimately says, all right, I relinquish my Death Note, I forfeit my Death Note, so that she forgets everything. So they have no proof against her anymore, but she also doesn't remember anything that she's done. And she won't remember the Shinigami. She will still remember Light and her love for Light, but she won't remember that he's Kira. She won't know that she was second Kira. And so with that arrangement made, Rem goes to Light and says, if you don't save her, I will kill you again. So like Rem continues to threaten Light in this scenario because of how she cares for Misa and how Misa is in trouble. And that's how that episode ended. And so for the final episode today in Decision, we have Light basically giving Misa's Death Note back to Rem, and then Rem kind of flying off, probably back to the Shinigami world. And we have Light putting his own Death Note, burying it, and basically telling Ryuk, I'm not getting rid of it, but the next time I say get rid of it, that regardless of the context, the next time I say those words, that means I'm getting rid of my Death Note. I'm forfeiting my Death Note. So, of course, that means he's got something kind of planned. And so we see Light turn himself in under the guise of, well, L thinks I'm Kira, so I must be Kira, even if I don't know that I'm Kira. Even if I don't realize that I'm Kira, it must be the case. And L kind of immediately sees through this and says, no, he really must be Kira, so what's he playing at here? But they basically detain Light and lock him up, and then Light's father comes and says, you can't, like, if you're locking up my son, like, you need to lock me up too, because I can't be impartial to this. And so both Light and his father are locked up, while Misa is also still locked up, and after 7 days of being locked up and murders have stopped, there is no Kira killing going on, so the whole kind of crew says, oh, well, I guess it must be, like, I guess Light must have been Kira, but maybe he was doing it not in his control or whatever. After 7 days, that's when Light says something, get rid of it, and loses his memories, and you see, like, very visually they play with in the art style that he goes from his like sinister look to like a very wide-eyed innocent, like, yeah, he clearly doesn't remember killing hundreds and hundreds of people anymore, and so he's kind of trying to plea for his freedom and whatnot. Another week passes, still no deaths, but then on day 15, 2 weeks worth of people die, and some of the crew starts suspecting that Kira is back. He was just out resting on vacation or something like that. And my immediate question would be, well, were any of those 14 people that were announced while Light has been here? Because if not, then we're still pretty good. We still got a good prime suspect. If they're people that, you know, were announced well before, I don't know how, but it's possible he could be doing it, you know, from the past or whatever. So that's where this episode left us. Light and Misa have no recollection of their past as Kira. Light is pleading to continue being, you know, part of the case, and they're wasting time by keeping him there. They're not using him for his skills and his deduction. He can be of value to finding and tracking down who Kira is. So what I'm left wondering is, okay, well, if he doesn't remember how all this happened, like, how is he going to get all of that back? How is he going to, like, tie that back in when he eventually does get out or is freed or whatever? Like, how is he going to get back to being Kira is kind of where I'm left wondering, like, because obviously with the show still about, like, at least half the episodes left, that's still got to come, right? They're not going to memento this and basically have him chasing himself and not realize it. That would be weird, right? Or maybe they will do that. I don't know. we'll see. We'll see where this goes. So those are my thoughts on these episodes of Death Note. Let me know what you think about the show in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends.